Hello and welcome to another edition of The One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle.
We have some special guests today.
Oh, we do. So this is a family that from day one I wanted to get on the podcast when we created this. Story about Elliott and Jack, just with my mom. And I might get a little emotional tonight, but please excuse that. But let's welcome our guests.
There's Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, so we have the Slocum family here. And so Elliott and Olivia, two huge Union fans.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Yep. And so let's get started here. So let's first of all tell us how you guys got into the Union.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So
You're fine.
We were
embarrassingly.
This is for Kyle
Tell her.
for a union game.
Yeah. For what?
And my mom said there was a player named Jack Elliott and it had my name on the last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will admit that we did not really know about the Union
At all, yeah.
at all until first game ever in 2021.
Yeah.
We were
Before it was 2022.
yeah,
Yep,
we
that's
were
right.
connected with an organization called
Kisses for Kyle.
Kisses for Kyle. And do you remember who runs Kisses for Kyle?
I don't remember again.
Miss Sharon. So I got a text from Sharon Snyder from Kisses for Kyle, and she had the privilege and also kind of like a weird task of picking 43 kids to represent at that time the 43 children that get diagnosed with cancer every day. That number has actually since gone up, but Fearless 43 I think is kind of what stuck. So they picked 43 children. We'd never been to Subaru before. We didn't even know where it was. And so in September of 2021, I think we were masked up.
Yeah.
Anyone who was going to go on the field, we had to get the nose test.
Mhm.
Do you remember?
Yep.
And so they took us to the back. We had to get a nose rapid test done to make sure that at least on the day of the game, we were negative. So we went through that. We sat, I don't know, I think we sat under the stadium clubs. And then towards halftime, you guys came out for a little bit and waved. And then at the end of the game, we had the privilege of being on the pitch.
And all the kids went on the field.
Yeah.
Then they were like running
Yeah.
on the field and like saying hi to all the fans.
And players, right?
Yeah.
So they gave us soccer balls, and all the players at that time
Well,
signed them. Yep.
Yeah. I was about to say that.
And then we saw this player.
Named Jack Elliott.
Yeah.
And
And
the same name.
yeah, his last
Same
name was
way.
spelled the exact same way Elliott is spelled, because the way we decided to spell his name is a little different.
2 L's, 2 T's, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Jack took a picture with Elliott, and that was actually our only experience with the Union in 2021. 2022 came around, and
we went to some of the home games.
yeah,
And
I think we went to every home.
this year and this day in August we'll go to Toronto and DC.
yeah. So we're gonna start road tripping with them soon too. But in the beginning of 2022, the Union, through Super Cares and through their community and charity engagement with Allie, they provide tickets to various organizations like Kisses for Kyle, and another organization is Casey Cares. They're actually based out of Baltimore, and I believe Be Positive, which is also based out of Delaware. These are all organizations that support families affected by childhood cancer. And so amazingly, we got a bunch of free tickets for the first half of last year. You know, there were a lot of ties, but it was such a great environment. We got introduced to the Sons of Ben, specifically Jeffrey Mitchell, who's been fantastic.
Yep.
And so through that, we really did have a lot of opportunities to watch the Union. And then we would see, who would we see after the game? Right.
Oh,
We would always see Jack. So Jack, we actually connected with Jack, and I kind of tagged him on everything on social media, and somewhat amazingly, like, you know, you always tag people and you don't expect to respond, but he actually responded, which was pretty wild. And then he did get us into the tunnel a couple times after the game to see him, and it's just been
Maybe
a lot.
like sit at the table with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
The table with us. We talked to Shelby.
So we've met his fiance,
Met his parents.
met his parents,
His brother.
and his school friend.
Yeah.
Yep. So so then we became partial season ticket holders at the end of last year, because, you know, they started getting really good and those ticket opportunities started to go away. And it was like that momentum, you know, I'm sure everybody felt it last year in the summer, you know, wondering when Gazdag, Ua, and Carranza were going to start clicking, and then they started clicking, and then it just got crazy, right? So we had to be part of that. So we picked up partial season for the end of the year. And then we
And
decided to become full season
Yeah,
ticket
that
holders
off
this
season
year.
was rough, right? We were waiting so impatiently for the next season to start.
Oh, we all
Yeah,
were.
we know the feeling.
We
Yeah.
all
Especially
know
with
the
how we
feeling.
left it. So yeah, we were we were ready to go.
I mean, us in LA. Were you guys at Subaru Park that day for the fateful day?
Yes.
Yeah, we were on the field. Was it the one night we went on the field to watch the game? Was it that game?
Yes.
That was the game we sat on the pitch.
So we went on the pitch. We met up with some friends. And
Came from the MLS.
yep, the MLS Cup. Yeah. And what's funny is after Jack scored those 2 goals,
Right.
my cell phone was blowing up because all
Right.
these people who knew of the Elliott and Jack Elliott and the Union connection, they're all texting me saying, "Oh, it's so fantastic. Like, can you believe it? We're watching it." So that was probably one of the best moments we've had, like, as a community and as a team watching them there. It was really fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything we saw from that
very
was amazing.
fantastic.
No, I mean just being there, and then my phone blew up. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
people.
we were in LA, as you know. Yeah, that
And
was insane.
What was incredible is I had friends,
wow.
teammates at Westchester that are Union fans too, and I didn't even know they were Union fans. Text me like, "Who is Jack Elliott?" I'm like, because I saw Elliott's story. I'm like, this Jack Elliott is an amazing man, and like, just to see him get that goal still this day brings tears to my
Yeah,
eyes.
you're getting
because-
choked up.
I am, because
Yeah.
the man, he's a great man, and
We want nothing but the best for him.
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
you get.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, we were all set to basically have him recognized as MVP of that game there, and then
MVP.
unfortunately what happened.
Yeah.
But
Always
Yeah.
MVP.
yeah,
At the end of the day, we have that moment, and Jack
Yeah, there
has
was
that
that
moment.
moment.
He's our MVP.
He's still our MVP.
He's our MVP.
I know, right?
yeah.
So,
Although Olivia might claim somebody else is
Yeah,
her
who's your
MVP now.
MVP? Who do you want to marry?
Santa.
Let's
who's that?
Santa.
She wants to marry Carranza.
Carranza.
Oh well,
Yeah.
everybody does.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle's like, yeah, just ask Jillian. Yeah.
Maybe he was boyfriend.
Yeah.
He is not your boyfriend.
Not your boyfriend. I have anything to say about it.
Yeah. Well, every time on our podcast, we do usually start off with what are we wearing? So,
We're in there.
and a lot of people do listen on the different platforms on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and so on. So, especially for the benefit of those just listening, we'll go through what we're all wearing today. So
I'm wearing the "Come On, You Boys in Blue" collar workers.
right. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
After that news report.
So
yeah.
So this is one of my favorite tailgate tops, and like Ryan and I have talked about this. This he says this is the greatest top he's ever produced.
That's
and like
yeah,
I
that's
love
pretty
this.
fun.
And it's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing the 2021 MLS playoff shirt that they gave out at the game. That was the one against Red Bull when Glesnes had the banger, which
Yeah.
I was not at that
Oh.
game, unfortunately, because I was coaching at a swim meet. I was watching that on my phone. So Kyle and his friend Todd, not from the free kick, but a different Todd, they were at that game.
And I still this day, I have never heard, even with the Glesnes goal, I've not heard the stadium louder than that goal.
So tell us what you guys are wearing.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing Jack Elliott jersey. It was my first Union kit.
Let me turn around and show them what number.
Let's see the back of it. All
Oh,
right.
we've got
One.
Okay. Olivia now wants to show what she's wearing.
Number
What are you wearing?
9.
First kit.
Carranza. And
Carranza.
she was able to get this signed by Carranza and Jack.
Nice.
Oh,
I
nice.
love it.
And this is the away kit for this year.
Mhm.
I'm wearing the jersey of the most unsung hero of the Union.
He's wearing Fang. He got a Fang shirt.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
And I'm wearing Jack's as well. But this is actually a game worn jersey. Sorry. That Jack gave to Elliott. But you know, it's a little big for him because it's an adult size. So
Right.
but it's from the original home jersey from last year. So Elliott's wearing a home kit from last year, and then
Yeah.
Steve and Olivia are wearing the away kit for this year.
I just love the colors of this.
You
We call it
know,
the sand and cloud kit.
the Thomas English muffin is growing on me. Like I kind of like that.
Yeah, when it first came out, I wasn't sure. Like I remember
Yeah.
when it like came out and I had just started my lunch break at school. And like I had to go down the hall to actually get get actual internet service on my phone, like to go on Twitter or whatever, check it out. And I'm like, is that camo? What is that? And I was like, but then it
Right.
like really grew on me too.
It's
So
smoke.
it's smoke. Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
yeah,
I
right?
understood
Yeah.
what the concept
It-
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people
So-
still call it like the camo top, but yeah, it's actually smoke and like the
Same
water.
thing.
So
It
Yeah.
is.
yeah. So Elliott,
a good point.
which one
It's
do
the
you like
water.
better? Do you like the
What's your favorite?
the smoke one there, or do you like the dark blue? You like that one?
Which one do you like?
I don't know what to choose. I think
You like them all?
I just love
Or to
them
choose.
all. Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we do have more than one jersey, don't we?
Yeah, we also have Donovan's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you
Donovan
have
jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd actually love to get you know, we're trying to see if we can get one from Gazdag and Carranza and things like that. So we're still trying to see if we can get some of theirs before they leave us.
Yeah, I know.
We try
That's the
not to
thing.
talk about that kind of stuff.
Oh,
No,
I know.
we don't.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's inevitable.
Yeah, I'm one of those people
Yeah.
that doesn't always get the jerseys with the names and numbers on, because I feel like as soon as I get one of those, like they leave or something. But I do have a
Same.
Stu Findley. Okay, well, it's the Juneteenth one. I got it in the auction last year, but
Oh, nice.
yeah, Stu is one of my favorite, well, now former Union players. So I went and got that
Yeah.
one.
One of our favorite moments was at the game where he banged the drum. We got to meet him after he was on our pod.
Yeah.
And it was just a really cool moment just to be him looking up at us and going, hey, oh my gosh, you were on our, you know, it was a cool moment. Now he's back at Kilmarnock, and I mean,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. So
And the
hopefully-
staff.
yeah,
We've
hopefully
met a
he'll find
lot
some-
of the staff.
Yeah.
And they've been fantastic, from like the front office to like the security to everyone. Like, I don't know, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but I will say that coming to Subaru is always like this great community family feeling,
Yeah,
even though it's like so many people.
When we cross the street from the yard to the park, you know, the guys that let us cross traffic, you know, yeah, every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who all have you been up in the owner's box? So like, have you met Jay or not? No,
We-
no.
We have some friends that have
We have friends. I mean, we've been to the stadium club because we have
Yeah.
friends up
Yeah.
there.
multiple times.
We haven't been to any of the suites, but speaking of owners, we literally
That's a sweet spring.
no, we just
No.
hooked it to Tim McDermott yesterday. And
Yeah.
as we were leaving the stadium, there were just two guys standing outside the gates and we're just walking. And, the kids, whenever we leave or go anywhere, they want to fist bump everyone, say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
And then I happened to notice his name badge and it felt kind of very cool, but weird at the same time to meet
Intimidating at
them.
the same
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, no, I mean, listen, we've been to the Tunnel Club a couple times or a few times, and we sit in 102 now. And like, would sitting in the suites be cool and very awesome? Yes. But honestly, we've gotten to know the people that sit around us, and we really love having that camaraderie, and the kids kind of bounce around from seats with friends and things like that too.
Seats, and usually I see like
Oh,
kind of like friends like up in the row.
you are so popular at the games, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
He just goes from row to row. They're like,
Also I
hey, what do you do when they say the roster? What do you do when they're like playing for
yeah
Tijuana number? And then you say what?
sucks.
He
Sometimes I do like the
Oh,
middle finger.
I love it
does the
already.
middle finger and all that stuff.
Yes.
This is what I mean. Like, build the generation,
Mm-hmm.
each generation, and that's how you create fans in MLS. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could get on a rant, but I'm not going to, because like
You only have
I
so much
think
time.
the league's been around. I went to DC games back when the league started, and it wasn't anything. And now to have a team
Mm-hmm.
like Philadelphia, and to be a family, and to meet you guys, everybody, like you can't replace that in a person's life. And like that's what the union are. And I hope we don't ever lose that.
Right.
I mean, that's always how I feel.
It does make it special.
It's a shame. It's a shame that we had no idea about the union, like up until we went to our first game. And then after that, you're just drawn in so much that when you're on the ride home or you hear the news and they talk about, oh, the Eagles are gonna play, blah blah blah. And they were like, the union won last night. Why didn't you say anything? Or not, or
Right.
it's like a minute and they don't say anything. They don't talk about highlights. They should.
I mean, I think there's something in Philadelphia that is being missed by a lot of people that maybe want to go to the games. Like, this is why soccer is big in Europe, and it's the hometown teams coming together, and it's the culture, the people, and they make it. Like, look, yes, MLS isn't a top 10 league yet, but at the end of the day, it could be. We got Messi.
Yeah.
We got Messi, and everybody's freaking out about that. We got a lot of other players, and eventually it's going to become that. I still believe that, but like, it's just a really good thing to see the Philadelphia fan base. If we can make this like the 76ers, like the Flyers, like the Eagles, like the Phillies, if they can make that culture here, it's going to be successful. Because
well, you look at how many people were at the link for these Premier League games,
and we still had a good crowd last night.
There's a lot of soccer fans that
we
they
did.
could actually maybe cheer for. And apparently there were a lot of Union fans, a lot of Union shirts were seen there from what I saw on social media anyway.
Yeah.
But, if some of these people that are maybe just, Prem League fans, maybe they could start cheering for, the hometown team.
When we were at the MLS Skills Challenge, like, the DC fans were saying the same thing. Like, we have all these Arsenal fans here.
Yeah.
Like, why can't they be DC United?
Union. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
but the whole family feel of all this. I think it's what really drew us to going to the games. Really helped make that decision easy to do season tickets and all that. We got to meet so many great people. people like your family, people like, Jeff Mitchell, and, so welcoming when we first started going to the tailgates. We've just gotten to know so many people. It's like we first went to the Sons of Ben tailgate, didn't know anybody. And now it's like yesterday we're walking around, we like, so many people there, talking to so many, and it's great. Which
I think I saw you guys walk through the yard last night.
yeah,
I was standing with Marcos. I think I saw you guys walk through the taco area.
We were
Yeah.
we were looking for you guys. I saw you and I like nodded to you, but I was like, wait a minute, where's everybody else?
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I look
Oh.
out of place when I'm not with my family, right?
Well,
Yeah.
last night
We have a funny story about last night.
we had
Okay.
to separate.
Yeah.
So normally, after the game, like we'll try to, see Jack, even for like a couple minutes. But a couple weeks ago, we met Carranza's fiance's like really good friends that were visiting from Florida, and they had some hats, and of course the kids are, they want to try it on, and they want us, they wanted to ask if they could keep it. So they asked this friend, hey, can we have your hat? And she promised that she would get them hats, which is really kind. But she was going back to Florida, but she messaged me a couple days ago asking if we were going to the game yesterday, and she was going to give the hats to Claudia, who's Carranza's fiance, and
Right.
they were going to give them to the kids. So do you want to show them the hat they gave you yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says
Oh.
Carranza.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
awesome.
And then
Hey, what was that?
and then we got Carranza to sign up for them. But it's and did you ask Carranza to do something last night?
Uh-huh.
What did you ask him?
On my head.
Can you say a little louder?
Kiss on my head.
And did he
Aw.
give you a kiss on your head?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just the best. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's
What's
awesome.
that?
Love you too.
So what happened was
So yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, we got the oil changed in our car.
Yeah.
So we're driving to the game, and then we start hearing some flapping and something rattling around the inside of the car. We pull over, and the shroud had fallen from the car. And we're like halfway between home and the game, and we're just like, oh no. So we call Jeff and send him a message. He's like, just get to the game and we'll get together and we'll get you fixed up, no problem.
Yep.
So we come to the game, we see the game, Union wins. I leave at like the 85th minute to go wait in the Sons of Ben area. He comes out, he grabs a guy named Dave. We go into the
Mhm.
Sons of Ben warehouse, we get zip ties and
Yep.
duct tape, and then we go to the car and we fix the shroud back up. They get us back home, but what's funny is Jeff was like, here, take these in case the shroud falls off. So I'm walking around the yard with a roll of duct tape and some zip ties in my hand, and I'm realizing this is not really a good look for me to be walking around with this stuff in my hands. But again, yeah, that just speaks volumes about the community. Like,
Exactly. Like,
yeah,
it's so funny. Like Billy, when we were at the skills challenge, Billy's like, "Hey, can you get me one of the Captain America balls?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know if they have any more. We couldn't find any, and we found one in one bin." And I'm like texting, and he's asleep. And I finally said, "Billy, like, I'm just gonna get it for him." And then he's like, "Yeah, I wanted it." He fell asleep. Like, what is great is everybody's helping everybody. Like,
Mhm.
we've met so many people in our, what is it now, like 2.5 years, like
Mhm.
just helping. And you guys are gonna meet more people, and we're gonna meet more people, and it's gonna be a great community. Like, I'm so happy that this is happening for the MLS fan base in Philadelphia and Union.
Yes, absolutely. So that was quite interesting yesterday. I can't say how many
Yeah, right.
times I've had like car issues on, not on the way to Union
Oh,
game, thankfully, but oh my goodness,
Swim
it's the
meets,
worst.
swim
For me,
meets,
it's like
swim
to swim
meets.
meets.
We've had some
I had
breakdowns.
a bump on like just hit these horrible potholes one time, and the wheel well like
Yeah.
cover thing like knocked out of
remember
place
that.
and was like then started hitting my
Oh my
tire,
goodness.
and that thing got shredded. And oh
I
man.
remember
Yeah.
my battery died going to when we entered the club. It died. Like, I was going to championship meet, prelims and the car died,
Yeah.
like right on
Wow.
the side of the road.
It's like I don't even know if I can enjoy the game, and then they go
Right?
and they
Yeah.
win like they did.
Stresses you out.
2 red cards in one game.
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you guys think about the game last night? Like it was a weird game, but I was having fun. Like at the
It
end of the day,
was the footwork of these players outside of our league from these different leagues. It's so entertaining just to see the footwork and
yeah.
the technique. It's amazing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Do
that
I
was
feel like
fun.
they should have been able to run up the score, being that there were 2 guys off the field? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
But
it was amazing.
It's still like the NCAA tournament. Survive in advance, you know, get a game on Wednesday, get 3 points, and then we move on. But
Who's Daddy's favorite player? Martinez, because Martinez is the man.
We love
He-
Martinez.
I love
he
he stopped. There was one play where he was headed down the field and the guy like touched his foot and he just stopped dead in his tracks and turned around and just looked at him like the whole game stopped. It was great.
And guess what?
What?
Martinez did something at the end of the
Yeah, there was
game.
something at the end of the game too.
Yeah.
Well, do you
Yeah,
want to
the
talk
yeah,
about
goalie
that?
was
yeah,
talking
so-
something.
So you saw that little scuffle at the end.
Oh
It was a
yeah.
kerfuffle.
Yeah, a kerfuffle is
Yeah.
a great word.
Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
Mine
Nice.
It's like, all right, careful, don't hurt her. Don't
Well,
hurt her.
yeah.
You know-
Did you hear like actually what happened? Because I know we got.
I heard the goalie said something
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
yeah.
Start the goalie from Tijuana starting stuff with Brew saying stuff, and basically, Martinez's teammates trying to hold him back, and then Richard getting some
It's
calls.
hard. It takes 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Damien, Bueno, Jack McLean, they're all like in the mix there.
The best part was like Damien's like by pressing Martinez,
Yeah.
like just like like bear hugging him, like
Yeah.
no, don't do
Don't-
this.
Yep, don't do it.
Yeah.
We need
You know,
Yeah.
I think I described yesterday as like very CONCACAF, but not.
It
Because
was.
We just need a dog.
the
running
red
on the field.
cards, but like I don't know, it was just something about the field because I feel like the team in general this year has become a lot more aggressive, and it's probably
Yeah.
because they had the CONCACAF tournament kind of mixed in with the first half of the season. So I think all the guys. I don't know about you, Jillian, but did you buffed up over the off season from last year and this year? Because
a lot of work.
I felt like a lot of them kind of put a lot of hard work in during the off season.
Who's that one player that we could swear he was a little kid, and then at the end of the season his hair was he was tall.
It was like Quinn.
Yeah, it was Quinn. Yeah.
You feel like
Quinn.
Quinn grew up.
Quinn,
Like,
we were like,
he's been
Quinn hit his
maturing, I
post
feel
up.
like.
Yeah.
We watched it right before our eyes.
Yeah,
It was great.
absolutely. Yeah, and I know like Bueno came in really fit this year. He's doing great. We love Jesus Bueno.
I mean, and also we're still waiting for Udada because he had that
we really want to see
one.
him.
We really want to see Udada because he had that one game against Pachuca, who has a bye to the round 32,
Yeah.
and it's like he shut down their strikers, and it's like, can we get Udada on the field? And Jim's like, well, he's got Martinez, and it's like everybody's like, okay, yeah.
We want to see Richard
Enough
Odada
said.
and Jesus Bueno and,
Mhm.
and Jose Martinez all in the field together.
I mean, I think the Union are a really good spot right now. I mean, yeah, could you use a few more points? Sure, but that's like the Phillies right now. Could the Phillies use a few more wins? Sure. I mean, anyway,
We love this team.
So
we all do.
yeah. So Elliott, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So obviously Jack Elliott's your favorite, but who would you say is your other favorite? Who's your next favorite?
Let's say Quinn.
You like Quinn Sullivan?
Quinn Sullivan.
Nice.
Oh, I'm gonna know who Olivia's is.
Yeah. And Olivia, and yeah, you like Carranza. Who else? What other players do you like?
Quinn too. She likes
Quinn.
Quinn.
Quinn's great.
And
You
her
just had a
favorite player is Jack Elliott.
No.
Oh, no. I think Jack is probably our family favorite.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you love Jack, and then Carranza has been more of a
It's everything. Mbaizo speed.
I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, it's crazy.
Have
Um,
you guys met Abazo? Have you met Abazo?
I mean,
We met him at the signing. They had like
they
a
had a meet and greet last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we the open practice last year.
Yep.
We went to that and we did get to meet a lot of the players. Like we've met in the sense of hi, like
Yeah.
we'll scream
Yeah.
like, and then
Yeah,
he'll
right.
come, give him a fist bump and take a quick picture. But what's wild is last season I'm looking at the roster and I said, there's no way we're ever going to remember all of these players' names. And now we're shouting them from the stands as soon as we see it. And it's almost like we're shouting things like, nice kick, Jack, or great save, Blake. And it's not like they can never hear us from the stands, but it's really kind of cool to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know the feeling because our first game we went to was in 2019 and then 2020 we didn't get to
So
anything.
fun story, was that the game that Jose Martinez botched the ball to Andre Blake and they both hugged? Remember that? Where Martinez
Yeah.
from
there
Atlanta?
was. I don't think we were at that one.
Oh, you're
Okay.
talking about Joseph Martinez now, but
Joseph Martinez basically botched the ball. And it was like the game that
our first game was against Atlanta United back in 2019.
and it was a game they won 3-1. And Union was the first time Union ever been first place. And yeah, it was Joseph Martinez, the league scoring goal, Golden Boot guy that year.
Mhm.
Just botched the ball to Andre Blake.
Uh-huh.
it
Yeah.
was funny. They were both hugging after that.
Yeah, no, that was funny. That was a good game. So let's what is let's talk about your fan experience a little bit. So like pre-game and post-game things. So what do you guys like to, I know for basically the listeners, we kind of see what you guys do, but tell us about what you guys like to do before the game and then after the game, like any stuff you usually do.
Like before, like we even get to Subaru, right?
Yeah, like
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Any like,
We
things you
just
always do.
we just say hi to some of our
We
friends.
go to our seats first. That's right. So we say hi to everybody, right? We go sit down and we say hi to everybody, and then we always get tenders and chickies and peas fries, right? Yeah,
Oh,
we
those
love
are
those.
good.
Yum.
So before we even leave for the park, sometimes I try to get these kids to take a nap. Quite
No, I
frankly.
don't want it.
It doesn't matter.
Take a nap.
They'll stay awake through the whole.
I do try to make sure the kids have no red on anywhere.
Yep, nowhere.
Um,
Not even underwear.
and
Nope. No red.
Elliott pretty much wears like the same 2 pairs of socks. Olivia pretty much wears the same 2 pair of socks. I pretty much wear the same 2 pair of socks. So we try to make sure we're, as supportive as possible with the color coordination. We do try to make it out to some tailgates, but it's kind of hard because usually we have to do something in the afternoon leading up to games.
Mhm.
So we're planning on trying to make a couple more Sons of Ben tailgates, but generally we try to show up around.
He gets
6:30.
he gets a road beer from Sons of Ben and walks to the gate with all of them, and then they bless him.
We
We've all
love
done that.
stopping by the plaza.
Yeah.
Usually there are front office people that we've met over a year or two that we like saying hi to. Olivia likes pretty much hugging the Carranza wall art, the window art, outside of the shop. So pretty much every time we walk by, she'll hug Carranza, and we walk in. We kind of go through all. We like looking at the puppies.
We love the puppies.
The puppies.
Marcos, we see Marcos before every game. Yeah.
Marcos is one of the front office union employees that we've gotten. I think he's in charge of Fang's Kids Club. So we've seen him at Fang's birthday party and some like other events like that.
That's another thing we did. We went to Fang's birthday, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we generally go to our seats like I said, we're on 102. And then that's pretty much what we do for the pregame. And then usually at like 10 to 20 minutes, Olivia and I will go to Chickies and Pete's, go pick up some crab fries and tenders and drinks. And then we'll hang out back at our seats until halftime. So, and then
Sometimes we'll go to the Sons of Ben section. Sometimes we'll go to the Tunnel Club.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Japan.
And the kids usually around after the second half starts, I think around 60 or 70 minutes, we try to swing by Sons of Ben to say hi. Sometimes they're lucky enough to bang the drums a little bit. Elliott, sorry,
Oh my goodness.
This is our
Look at their
mascot.
collar.
love the cat.
This is Oscar. He's a little camera shy.
He's like,
He's
no.
okay.
He's like, no.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
we normally try to bang the drums, or the kids have actually gotten on the megaphone a couple times.
But when
Nice.
I was drumming, some of my skin got ripped.
He got drummed so hard he got
Drumming-
blisters.
He was drumming for
Oh,
so
wow.
long one time that he actually got blisters on his finger, like on his hand from
Wow.
banging the drum so much.
Kids got rhythm too.
And they like to wave
There
the
he
flag.
goes.
So we'll start with the drummers and then make our way over to like where Ryan hangs out, like the capo stand.
Mhm.
And then we usually make our way back to our seats by that time, or we check if there are any tickets left for us to go into the post-game Tunnel Club like events. What do we do after the game usually? We try to see who.
Jack Elliott.
Yeah.
Jack Elliott.
People should really hang out after the game. If you hang out after the game, you don't have to worry about leaving the parking lot and all that stuff. You just wait.
Right? I
So,
mean,
yeah.
our normal game is like we'll help the press guys coming out because I have relationships with them, and we'll ask some questions to Jim, and then we go to Larimer. And then we'll go over to Union Yards, Sons of Ben.
Yeah, we'll hang out in the Sons of Ben lot sometimes for a while. We're all out there watching the USA versus Jamaica game on like the phones. And then of course
Oh wow.
Damian Lowe scores. We're like, yeah, Damian scored, but also it's against the US, so we're
Same time.
conflicted.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I will
Well,
say that having the Sons of Ben lot there has been better for like our engagement of seeing some of the members after the game.
Play some kickball, some
Yeah.
dodgeball.
Hang out with them a little bit. And I think Union Yards being there is we really like being able to I'm gonna do a shout out to Bill for Kona Ice. Great, really nice guy.
Yes.
So the
Kids
kids
love that.
have been getting some ice, and it's been, I actually don't mind hanging out there much later, although
They got good
they get a little
tacos there
cranky.
too. Tacos
Yeah.
are really good.
What I've heard.
Oh, yes,
you
they've
haven't
been
had them,
really
but you
good.
hear they're good.
No, actually,
It's not so
I had
much a-
some from Jose from
Oh, okay.
across the bridge. Yeah,
Okay,
you got
nice.
some.
It's not so much a game routine as it is just natural behavior.
Right.
It's like it's just what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You meet, you talk to everybody.
We also have one other post game thing that we do. We have a really good family who was actually my coworker, like my colleague, and we were actually pregnant at the same time with Elliott. I was pregnant with Elliott. She was pregnant with her son. What's her name? What's his name?
Graham, right?
Bram.
Yeah.
So we were pregnant together at work, and then we both left that firm, and coincidentally enough, we both became pregnant with our second around the same time. So we both have two kids. Their two boys are really into the Union.
Why didn't they tell us about the union?
I don't know. I think they just started watching the Union as well, about maybe half a season before we did. So it's like a whole family affair. We see them. We actually called their Uncle Pete. We're like, oh, we're gonna see Uncle Pete today.
Yeah.
So usually after the game, we do try to see them. Because it's like a lot of fun to have the four kids kind of running around the concourse when nobody's there.
Delirious at the end of the night.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
No. So, what are you guys going to be there this week? Wednesday and Friday, we got Querétaro, and we got Wrexham.
Wrexham's coming up. That's right.
So
Well,
time out. Just a Wednesday. I think they're already loaded, so we'll be there. Wrexham, we were debating it. And so at least as of right now, we are not going to Wrexham, which we were going back and forth a lot about it. And I think just because of the schedule and I think some other things that we have amazingly outside of
Life
the union.
happens,
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I want to go see him just because I watched most of the series on Hulu.
Mhm.
So it'd be kind of cool to see them in person. And also, that off chance you can bump into Rob McElhenney or
Well, they
Yeah.
said he's probably going
Or-
to bang the drum.
so
I mean, I
it's
kind of want to bump into Deadpool. Personally,
I know if Ryan Reynolds is coming,
I heard Hugh Jackman has a locker in the Tunnel Club.
he does.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
saw
We did
saw
the
his
stadium
locker.
tour. We did the stadium
Really?
tour.
Yes.
That was not that long ago. Yeah.
But I just kind of want to see Deadpool. I just want to be like, look, Deadpool 2 was better than Deadpool 1. We can all say that and just be like, yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I don't care about Wrexham that much, but we haven't been to a U2 game before, so we're like, I may as well do this one, and
That's true.
that'll
That's
be
a
good
good
too.
plan. Yep.
Yeah.
So
At the end of the day.
yeah, being a Friday night and all it.
I
it
hope
works out.
Ronaldo comes to our league.
Did you know? Because I just learned this that apparently we can just go to the Union 2 games. That's usually the Sunday
Yeah.
after Saturday games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've been talking about trying to go to one of those U2 games because the players that are on the bench usually from the first team, they get to play in for example, Donovan.
Right.
Yeah.
Sits on the bench, but then he plays for U2 the next day, and then you find out that he scores a brace or more. And so I think it would be interesting to see these players that kind of, especially like the homegrowns, you see them go through the process. And so I think we do want to try to make a U2 game sometime. So maybe we can coordinate or something. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and
I'm
the
making
way Raphael's been
making-
scoring on there lately,
wow.
like to see him, and
And Pierre. Pierre's
Nelson Pierre, yeah,
he's been playing
yeah.
well.
So yeah, definitely. So we're looking forward to that.
So what's your hopes for this year, everybody in the family? What do you want to see? Do you want to see Jack Elliott hit a banger at Simmer
Yeah.
Park and
Top, yeah.
like Elliott
First things
running
first.
down? Like
I want to see Jack Elliott score. I want to see another goal from Martinez because he looks
Yes.
so good doing it. It's just yeah.
I
I
want to
don't know,
see. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of miss the jelly that the
Yeah.
front three had. I know that the coach has kind of mixed up the front three and like the mid three a little bit, so I I kind of miss that energy when you see the three of them just run down towards the opposing goal. But like, I think I would like us to get to the cup again. I think,
back to the MLS Cup.
yeah. And I mean, I think, and I'm sure you guys have seen it on Twitter about, how come some teams spend all this money and our team doesn't spend that much money and caps and all that stuff. But I think, I'm still new to MLS and to the union. So I think if Ernst and, the rest of that coaching team is able to find the talent that they have, like, for example, Carranza, remember how last year we were like, oh my God, they're playing away in Inter Miami and he's not going to be allowed to play. And then boom, like right before he's, becomes a full contracted
Right.
player. So, I mean, I think, I guess, see a little more depth, but I'd like to see them to get to the cup. I think, and I'd love to see, I love seeing Jack and Glesnes together. Jack
I
and
do
Jacob,
too.
just seeing those two do well together as well. Um, Do you want them to do anything special this year?
I would like to see more cohesion between the ultras and our section when it goes to the chants. People need to
Yes.
start learning the words and
Thank
stop
you.
rushing it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just,
Thank you.
you know,
Ready?
I
Hey, Philadelphia, you.
yeah.
yeah, it's not, yeah, you.
Like, I'm just
Yeah,
happy
so-
they learned that. We got the
Yep.
Union channel in the corners, but to hear that now, like going around, like,
I love that in like the
Um,
70-ish minute, 75th minute, somewhere in there, we start doing, that.
but I
the
would
whole-
like, as an AC Milan fan, I watch those games where like the chants are going all over. Like,
Mhm.
if we can bring that to Philly, and I think Philly's one of the cities that they could do that if people learn the chants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, have you guys been to any away games?
no.
Last year.
We went
Last
to
year, where did we go?
we went to DC.
Washington.
We got our car keyed
Yes.
that night. 'Cause that night we won 7-0, right?
Was
Yeah.
it 6 or 7?
That was
0.
6. That,
That
was
was
7.
that was
It was 7-0 at home,
yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
6-0. But Jillian Carnes had a hat trick at both.
Wait, I was
So
Nice.
Yeah.
it looked like they keyed our car, but when they got to the back, they saw our cured childhood cancer license plate, and then they went back and they kind of rubbed on it a little bit to try and
Wow.
hide it.
Wow.
So it wasn't too bad, but you know,
Wow.
we still saw them do it.
We
Wow.
actually
Pretty funny.
we actually took one of my very good college friends and her family who
Yeah,
had
we
just
did.
moved back to the East
Yeah.
Coast to their first MLS game. They live in Northern Virginia, so we met up to go to the DC United game. Took them to the tailgate that the Sons of Ben were having with the Screaming Eagles, and the atmosphere was really was really great. And I'm glad I kind of checked Twitter and things like that about Audi Field, because those stairs are no joke. I
No,
mean,
they're not.
I
We
feel
saw
like I was
them on-
mountain climbing up those stairs, and we were on the first level. We didn't sit with the Sons of Ben because I think they were on the second level, and the idea of going up all those stairs with the kids were not going to be.
Oh,
No, it was good.
We hung out with everybody pre-game. We hung out with DC United fans. You know, it was a great game, and then Union did more than show up, and
yeah.
it was great.
Yeah, we were at that one as well.
All things aside, it was great.
Yeah,
Can I tell
those are some
something
steep
special about
steps for
Super Park?
sure.
So I'll tell you a funny story about us. Like, the humidity was so bad, and we saw our buddy Todd Lewis, and we were hanging out, and then like halfway through the game, like the humidity was so bad, I had to sit down because I was so dehydrated. I got so dehydrated
Yeah,
that game.
Well, with the away games, the great thing about those is I find that a lot of people that actually travel are the ones that are really invested, and we've been at NYC, we've been at Red Bulls, and what happens a lot of times in our away supporter section is the Keystone State Ultras and Sons of Ben like pretty much come together and start doing cohesive chants, and everyone's participating.
And we need more of
It's
that.
so good.
We do.
And
Yeah.
I wish we had that all the time. I mean, one thing that hurts us, I think, at home is where Sons of Ben is, the sound doesn't really get kind of trapped in it.
Yeah.
It goes out. Like when we were at Red Bull, we were so loud because they very stupidly put us up by where there's the overhang, and it really makes it loud for us there. But yeah, that's one thing that's really cool, and I'd like to see our supporter sections really get more cohesive.
Do you have any tips for people that go to away games that are new to it and maybe feel a little worried about going into enemy territory?
I mean, honestly, do the Sons of Ben tailgates or like, was it the Philly?
Well, there's Philly sports trips one
Yeah.
sometime, which honestly can be a little pricey. They put together a nice thing, but they can be a little
Honestly-
pricey. We did that for the MLS Cup, and it was a lot. But the Sons of Ben tailgates are great. I mean, honestly, I think for the most part, if you're wearing your team gear and everything, being the away fan, but as long as you're not acting like
Just
a jerk,
Just
don't really
do
have to.
the
Yeah.
support section. Like, find out where the support section is,
Mhm.
and then get tickets there.
Like you, and
Like,
even if you
that's
don't,
how we have figured out. Like, even with
Yeah.
NYCFC, like we were telling people, like, go over the next section over.
you can get ones that are near, like when you find out where the like for the Red Bull game, the away game. He was in the
press box.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually got tickets in like the next section, but then I went over with the in the actual like supporter section, and we pulled like all the other people over too. Like, to fill
And
in.
also look at good like parking lots, like parking towers, anything like that. Like you don't have to park in the team lots.
Yeah, for DC we used Spot Hero, and we parked at a garage that was, not a
half
horrible
a
walk,
mile.
but it was in a garage, and it was a little more kind of protected and stuff, which was nice. But
For NYCFC, we parked in a mall
yeah,
that was like right across the bridge.
like right
And
across from where the Mets play. Yeah.
yeah, and same thing with Red Bulls.
And it cost us $8 to park
Yeah.
for the NYC game. So
Just
Wow.
just
Yeah.
look ahead and plan ahead. That's my biggest tip.
Yeah.
Like
Huh.
you don't have to pay $40. So you
Yeah.
can park like a mile away for a $10 parking garage.
yeah, just
you
do
know
the
what I'm
homework
saying?
ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found like all this good information that was on Reddit or something, and people that were NYC fans, I think, had posted someone had asked from a visiting team, some things to know, and someone was really helpful that was an NYC fan. And it's like, here's a lot of stuff you should know. And so yeah, surprisingly they were really cool.
Yeah, that's what we all were like, wow.
So yeah, definitely.
I just want to say one thing. What was the cool thing that happened at the end of the DC United away game? Do you remember? You remember who came to visit us after the game? So we had connected with Jack before we went down to DC to just say, hey, we're going to the game. This is where we're sitting. I know we probably can't see you, but if we could, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And he actually walked over like at the end of the game, and he hopped over that, like that border wall of
Stepped
Yeah.
over. He stepped over.
hopped over.
Yes.
And he actually stopped by, which was really amazing. And I think that just goes to again how watching how the team interacts with its fans. Sorry guys about and just the mere fact that he came over, and then we actually met Matt Freeze's high school or something soccer coach. So then Matt Freeze also happened to come over because we were all in that same corner. But we're planning on going to DC again this year. We're probably not going to sit in the 200s just because. So we're probably going to sit in the section under where the Sons of Ben are going to be.
Mhm.
And we're also going to go to, where else are we going to go this year?
We're going to see some family where?
Canada. So we're going to be following the Union for about a week and a half. So we're going to go to DC, and then we're going to go to Toronto, and then we'll be back down here for the Sunday game right before Labor Day. So
Nice.
that's going to be our little road trip soccer tour this year. And I think we're going to try to keep the DC United game as one of the games we're going to try to go to every year because it's not that far.
Right.
Right.
We have feelings about New York, so we don't really want to go to an NYCFC or a Red Bull
Not
game
the
right
team.
now.
Not the team, just the city.
Yeah.
It's not for us.
Yeah.
No.
I would say a good way to do NYC though, if you ever want to do it, is the bus trip's nice to go to because they don't have to worry about all the hassle.
Yeah.
We didn't do the bus trip only, because we're just like, yeah, we'll just drive. But yeah, I mean that is a fun way to go, experience that too.
All right. So well, thank you guys for coming on tonight. And we really appreciate it. And before we get out, is there any places you want us to plug you guys at? And if so,
So I actually wanted
to say something to add to Subaru Park. Maybe sometimes when it's like each event like happening for the Union, maybe they can do like special flyovers and
You want to see planes fly over.
space flying over.
Yeah, he saw the Coast Guard helicopters fly over, and that just blew his mind.
it's my
oh,
first time seeing a helicopter fly over our stadium.
If he had his way, there would be no
Well, the
fireworks
fireworks would be
and
quiet.
flyovers every time there was a goal.
Silent
Like that would be
fireworks.
his thing if they had.
there'd be a goal and there'd just be a flyover every time there was a goal.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, I mean, we do get it. We get
Union Gold.
Well, I mean, we're close to Philly International Airport, so they get
Flyovers, right? Um, so I do want to say just one thing. Well, two things. So one is being part of this childhood cancer community is very isolating. Especially when Elliott was in the bulk of his treatment, which was about 2.5 years. And the second half of his treatment was when the pandemic started. So, if you've seen any of our posts, I usually put like hashtag life after chemo, because Olivia didn't really know anything beyond our home, doctor's offices, and children's hospital for the first 3 years of her life, because she was 4 or 5 months old when Elliott was diagnosed. So literally, she went from newborn care to going into the CHOP all the time. So being part of this Union Sons of Ben family has been really good for us. I think for a long time, or even like the first 6 months after treatment, I think you'd agree that like we didn't really know how to be a family.
how to operate in public.
And we're always we were always going to doctor's appointments, and we knew what to do there, but to be in an environment where people genuinely seemed interested and cared, I think if anything, that has meant the most to us. We've seen the highs and lows of childhood cancer. One of our friends that we met through this was also a huge Houston fan, and she was obsessed with Paxton. And the Aronson family had been amazing with her and her family, and her name's Maddie. And
we lost her.
We lost her last year.
She had a brain.
She had a brain tumor, and
she died.
Despite all the fight, unfortunately, she lost her battle. And I believe, from what I've heard, like Bedoya reached out to their family, and the Aronsons reached out to them. And I think like, and you just saw, right? Nat Turner.
Yeah.
He posted wearing something in honor of another, what we call an angel.
Yes.
That he met while he was working, when he was with the Revolution. So I think like, I feel like MLS in some ways, because they're not as big yet, the teammates have an opportunity to connect with the families and the fans. Right. And I think there's like a level of engagement that I haven't seen in the NFL or, the Major League Baseball. And, so I would just say that if any of your friends or family gets affected by childhood cancer, even if you don't know what to do, just check in on them every once in a while.
Maybe if you find like a cancer organization, like Be Positive, or like Casey Cares, or like Kisses for Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you were to donate to an organization, Kisses for Kyle is local. Yeah. They're primarily 5-county, Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, but they also do support families in New Jersey and now Delaware. And they provide social and financial support to the families.
Christmas gifts during the holidays, and
yeah.
And horseback riding and all types of good stuff, right?
Be Positive is a national organization. They also provide primarily financial support to families, but they also have Be Positive Heroes. Elliott got hooked up with a fraternity at the University of Delaware, which has been awesome, right?
It's called
Alpha Sig. Right? And
the logo is an AZ.
AZ? Yeah. It looks like a Z, right? A, yep. And, Elliott's going to be hooked up with that frat until he's 18. So to have like this family already kind of built in is amazing. And then Casey Cares, they do a lot of events for children and families outside of cancer. So if you're so inclined to donate, those 3 organizations mean a lot to us. And and then I guess the plug is Elliott has an Instagram. Do you know what it's called? Do you remember what it's called?
Elliott Battles BLF.
Elliott Battles BLL. He has a Facebook page that's
I also have a TikTok page.
he also has a Facebook page that's under the same name.
And a TikTok.
And I just joined
I'm coming,
TikTok, which
baby.
has been very difficult. Not difficult. It just takes up so much time, right? Doing social
Right.
media, all this engagement. So
Yeah.
to be fair, if I'm gonna post on TikTok, the same thing posts across all boards. So I think TikTok is Elliott Battles BLL 2019, I think, only because I think the first time I signed up, I did it incorrectly and then I couldn't figure out how to fix it. So but yeah, I mean, it's weird now because if anyone looks at those sites now, they'll see happy stuff.
Yeah.
And feel free to look back. Every once in a while we'll post kind of like hey, this is 4th anniversary or something like that. But yeah, if anyone is so inclined, Elliott would like to have more Instagram followers. And
this is my life savings.
sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all good.
So his Instagram. Right?
Elliott, so I'm gonna tell you a story. So I was 9 years old. How old are you, Elliott?
I'm 8.
I was
Years
9.
old.
My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she had 1% chance of living. And she survived. Now she's 72.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
She's like grandmom's age.
She's like my
And-
grandma's age.
She's a champion. You're a champion, Elliott.
Yes.
You're a champion. And I'm getting really teared up because
Kyle.
like
Okay.
I had to take care of my mom at 8 years old. This is why I
That's
wanted
rough.
you on the show because Elliott, you're a champion. I just want you to know that, buddy. You're a champion.
Oh, Kyle, we're gonna have to give you another hug the next time we see you.
But Elliott, I want you to know I work with cancer survivors every day.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you're gonna be a champion, buddy. You're a champion.
Yeah.
Just know that
I'm not
every
an
day.
angel. I'm just.
Thank you.
You are.
No, we love
You're
you,
just
Mom.
you.
Mhm.
But
If we
you're a
see you
champion,
again,
buddy.
we will. Wait, how about we can? Hold on, I gotta whisper to my mom something real quick.
Oh.
He wants to give you something the next time we see you, so we'll bump into you. But I
All
mean,
right.
Kyle, I can't imagine. You were a kid,
Yes.
and then be forced to deal with so many responsibilities at that age.
Terrible. Yet
But you have to do it,
Yeah, you do.
because what
You
else
do.
are you gonna do? Yeah. So, I will tell you this. Probably at 9, you knew you were doing something, but you probably didn't really understand what you were doing.
Correct.
And as you've gotten older, you've come to realize I'm going to say the physical and emotional toll that it took on you as a 9-year-old.
Correct.
Yeah. At your age at 9, you're supposed to be playing with friends, not worrying about, did your mom take her medication today? Oh my God, I'm going to get all.
Yeah,
but like,
no,
those
it's
are-
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And I think that, I think we all will see on social media about, oh, my uncle's dying of cancer, or, oh, this other person, or hey, share this story to raise money. I think until you're actually touched with firsthand experience of it,
it's a
people
whole
won't know.
world. It's a world all by itself.
It
And
is.
so-
It really is.
and I can say that
I got guy friends now.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I will tell you this, like we did become very isolated, and now through the union, it's crazy. Steve kind of lost contact with a lot of his guy friends. And the fact that, like, when we were on the side of the road yesterday, he's like, I'm going to go text Jeff. I mean, the mere fact that, like, we knew that we could just text someone right away. And then we were talking about Kyle, right? Kyle the baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kyle just graduated high school, and I know he had like a lot of auto mechanic background. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I have Kyle's number too if we need to text him. So the mere fact that, like, in the short 1.5 years or so that we've been associated with the Union and the Sons of Ben, we have people like that is pretty amazing for us.
It takes a village, and that village loves the Union.
It does.
And I'll tell you, it's funny. We through Be Positive, we met someone who said they live in San Diego and they didn't even really know about the Union. And then they saw Elliott's posts about the Union and how the Union has been so fantastic. And she's like, yeah, I'm a total Union fan now because of that. I'm in San Diego paying attention to the Union because of Elliott. So
and we can spot new families that come in because of cancer. We spot them at the games and we tell them, like, look, yeah, everyone's here for you.
Exactly.
Everyone's here.
So, but
right.
Kyle, I just want to say thank you,
Thank
for
you for
sharing your
sharing.
story.
Yeah.
And
No.
thank you for letting us
And-
share Elliott's story.
It's not even that. It's about something bigger. It's about family. The Union are family at the end of the day. We are family. And
That's
like
what sets it apart, I think, from
from
a
the
lot of
other team.
sports. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
That's why, that's why we're better than every other team.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's why, like, I heard your story, and when I saw that video by the Union, I broke down in tears. Like, I had to pull over the side of the road.
Yeah, we saw a
Like,
video with
she
Oh, what,
shared
the
Jack
that
Elliott
hanging out
video
with
or-
Elliott.
She
Yeah.
shared that
Oh, that-
story, and I had to pull over.
Well,
I was
saw
going to
that,
work,
yeah. I just
and I had to pull over because, and then I sent it to my mom, and she called me, and she broke down in tears. She's like, I never wanted that. Like they understand the pain that we went through, and
Yeah.
like that's why I share
Jack-
that. So
Jack is amazing. I don't know where he gets his chance from, but he's amazing.
Yeah.
he's a good man.
Yeah. When we saw that video with Jack, with Elliott, and I sent that to him, like, I mean, we already love Jack Elliott, but that just breathes the heart. We were just like, wow, incredible. And just also incredible to hear about just Elliott's story and how strong he is, and what he's had to go through at such a young age. I mean,
You're dealing with your aunt.
yeah, I mean, my aunt has lung cancer. I mean, it's just cancer touches so many lives, and I think one of the biggest things is having community, having people to rely on.
That's
and
the important part.
yeah, absolutely.
All right.
No one should, be dealing with.
And
that
we
alone.
even met the twins, right?
Have you met them?
Who?
The Doctor twins
guys who-
carries the Grammy,
the
or
Grammy?
or
Oh, we
the
haven't met
Oscar.
them, but we've seen them. Yeah.
We saw them at
Have
the
you read their
Cincinnati
story?
game. We were all
No,
joking
we don't
about.
know.
We're like,
no, you don't know the story.
Oh,
do you?
no.
let's-
Um,
They were like army surgeons, like
What?
straight up in the military doing their thing,
combat
and
medics.
combat medics or surgeons, and they served. And they're both doctors, and I kind of had to Google them and see them, but they have articles written about them,
And they've met Elliott.
and
yeah.
they're really cool. And they also have a locker where they have this Oscar in there. But yeah, it's just, you would never know. You just, until you like actually get to know these people, you would never really know about all the things that they've been going through. And even when Kyle sent me the link about his mom, I was like, wow.
But we suppose this is what people do normally when they're out and about. They're actually talking with people and they converse with other human beings.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's just, we kind of hit the ground running with the Union.
Oh, I have a plug. If any of your listeners happen to drink soda out of cans,
Mhm.
beer out of cans, those little soda tabs where you use to pop the can,
Mhm.
if you just pull them, keep them, drop them off at Sons of Ben. Those little tabs eventually get donated to the Ronald McDonald House, who
Right.
provides housing for families who come from, far away to get treatment. Ronald McDonald House was actually started in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
And although those tabs are tiny and they don't weigh a lot, thousands of them do. And I believe it helps the Ronald McDonald House raise like another $6,000-7,000 a year. But that's an extra $6,000-7,000 a year that they wouldn't have had. So
We do a lot of drinking at the union.
so
Yes, we
if
do.
anyone
do.
of your listeners who
Let's
come
be
to games
honest.
on a regular basis and they just happen to just keep a small container and just throw all your tabs in there, I know the Sons of Ben at their tailgate collects them every time. So just stop on, drop it off. That's one very easy
So
thing to do that you can just collect, and you can know that your little soda tabs are helping in some way to help a family going through either cancer or some sort of other serious illness. Is easy. And you're buying the sodas anyway. So you might as well save that tiny piece to donate.
yep.
I hope that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. Yep. Well, we want to thank you guys. Yeah, so this has been great.
This has been amazing.
Yeah.
This is like this
Oh,
is a show
thank
we
you.
really wanted. We really wanted to do this because for me, oh no, let him stick it in there like that. Like this is a show. When I started this podcast, I say it's all the guests, but like I had a list of like 20 people, and your story really touched me because my past and her past, and like I'm glad to have you guys on. I'm glad to hang out with you guys every day at the tailgates. Like, and
Oh,
Elliott,
you're gonna catch a hug next time. You're
oh,
gonna
I
catch
mean,
a hug.
Elliott,
I can't wait
thank
to give you that
you for
gift.
being you, and keep fighting, buddy. And you all guys keep fighting
Thank
because
you.
No, we will.
the Union and the Sons of Ben love you guys, and like
Yeah.
we'll be there for you every step of the way. And
Thanks,
until
Kyle,
next
Jillian.
time,
Yep. So again, thanks to Steve and Grace and Elliott and Olivia, and for the one team we agree on. I'm
I'm Kyle.
Jillian.
I'm Kyle.